I destroyed my marriage by cheating with my wife's cousin because her mom said I deserved better. Now, my wife has taken everything, my truck, our money, and even moved into my own parents' house against me. I can't even get close enough to apologize, and everyone in both families knows what I did. I lost the love of my life for one stupid decision. My wife changed the locks on our house while I was at work and moved my own parents against me. 6 months ago, her mom pulled me aside at a family barbecue and said I deserved better than her daughter. She kept going on about how my wife was too focused on work and not giving me the attention a man needs. Her mom suggested I should explore my options because life is short. 2 weeks later, her cousin started texting me. Nothing major at first, just memes and random stuff. Then she started complaining about her boyfriend. I should have stopped it there, but her mom's words kept echoing in my head. "You're such a good listener," the cousin said one night after we'd been texting for hours. "My boyfriend never talks to me like this." "Your cousin doesn't really talk to me much anymore either," I replied. The cousin suggested we meet for coffee. "Just as friends," she said. We met 3 times before anything happened. The 4th time we ended up in her apartment. I told myself it was just physical. That my wife and I had grown apart anyway. The cousin kept saying things like, "You deserve someone who appreciates you, and I can't believe she takes you for granted." This went on for 2 months. I was living a double life and hating myself for it. But every time I tried to end it, the cousin would cry and say she was falling for me. Her mom would make little comments about how much happier I seemed lately. Then my wife found the texts. She was using my laptop because hers was charging. The messages with her cousin popped up automatically. She read everything. 2 years of marriage ended in that moment. "Get out," she said when I walked into our bedroom. Her voice was completely calm, which somehow made it worse. "Let me explain," I said. "Explain what?" "How my own family convinced you to cheat on me? How you've been screwing my cousin for months while I was working overtime to save for our vacation?" I tried to tell her about her mom, about the pressure, about how confused I'd been. She just stared at me. "Pack your stuff. You have 1 hour." I called her mom thinking she'd help smooth things over. "Big mistake." "Oh honey," her mom said. "I never told you to have an affair. I just said you deserve better communication in your marriage." The cousin blocked my number that same day. Her mom started telling everyone I misunderstood her advice and that she was shocked and disappointed in my choices. My wife filed for divorce immediately. She took half our savings, kept the house, and somehow convinced my own parents that I was entirely in the wrong. They let her move into their guest room while I'm stuck in a studio apartment. "We raised you better than this," my dad said when I tried to explain. "She's family now and you threw it away." The worst part is my wife won't even look at me. I see her at my parents' house sometimes when I visit. She'll get up and leave the room. My mom makes me wait outside if my wife is there for dinner. Everyone knows. Her whole family, my family, our mutual friends. The cousin is back with her boyfriend like nothing happened. Her mom acts like she barely knows me at family gatherings. I lost the woman I actually loved for someone who was just using me to get back at her own boyfriend. My wife was loyal, hardworking, and planning our future while I was busy destroying it. Am I wrong for thinking her family set me up to fail? Things got so much worse after I posted here. My wife found my Reddit account somehow and read everything, including all your comments calling me a selfish piece of garbage. She screenshots the whole thread and sent it to everyone we know with a message in case you thought he felt any real remorse. Her cousin finally broke her silence 2 days ago. She called me sobbing, saying her boyfriend found out about us and dumped her. But instead of taking any responsibility, she threw me completely under the bus. She told everyone I pursued her aggressively and that she felt pressured because I was older and married. Total bullshit, but everyone believed her because I'm already the villain. My wife's mom is now playing the devastated grandmother act. She's telling people she's heartbroken that I misinterpreted her innocent concerns about our marriage. She actually had the nerve to call me and say I should take responsibility for my own choices instead of blaming others. I reminded her about the barbecue conversation and she straight up denied it ever happened. "You're clearly having some kind of breakdown," she said. "Maybe you should get professional help instead of trying to destroy our family with lies." The worst part is my own parents are completely buying into this narrative. My dad called yesterday and said my wife showed them text messages between me and the cousin. Apparently there are some pretty damning ones where I'm complaining about feeling unappreciated and saying things like "I wish I'd met you first." "Son, we read what you wrote to that girl," my dad said. "Nobody forced you to send those messages. You made these choices." My wife has been living at their house for 3 weeks now. My mom cooks her favorite meals and they watch movies together like she's their actual daughter. When I tried to visit last Sunday, my wife was helping my mom plant flowers in the garden. They both stopped talking when I walked up. "We should give him some space to figure things out," my wife said to my mom, looking right through me. My mom nodded and said, "Maybe that's best for everyone right now." I haven't been invited to family dinners since then. My own parents chose her over me. Work has become unbearable too. Word got around somehow and now everyone treats me like a walking red flag. My boss pulled me aside yesterday and said while my personal issues aren't technically his business, maybe I should consider whether this job is the right fit for me anymore. The divorce papers arrived Monday. She's asking for spousal support even though she makes more money than me. Her lawyer sent a letter saying I have no grounds to contest anything because of my admitted infidelity. They want me to pay her attorney fees too. I tried calling her one last time yesterday. She actually answered, which shocked me. Please, I said. Can we just talk for 5 minutes? I know I screwed up, but we had something real for 2 years. You threw away something real for someone who was using you, she said. And now you want me to feel sorry for you? I just want you to know that I loved you. I still love you. You don't destroy people you love. You protect them. She hung up and blocked my number. The cousin is now dating some new guy she met on a dating app. She posted pictures of them together at the same restaurant where she and I had our first coffee date. The comments are full of her friends saying how much happier she looks and how she deserves someone who treats her right. Meanwhile, I'm eating microwave dinners alone in a studio apartment that smells like the previous tenant's cat. I lost my wife, my parents, my reputation, and probably my job. All for someone who won't even acknowledge I exist now that her life moved on. Everyone keeps saying I should have thought about consequences before I cheated. But I genuinely believed her mom when she said I deserved better. I thought the cousin actually cared about me. I was stupid enough to think my wife would eventually forgive me because our marriage meant something. Now I'm wondering if this was all planned somehow. Did her mom know exactly what she was doing when she planted those seeds in my head? Did the cousin target me on purpose? Or am I just looking for someone else to blame because I can't handle being the only villain in this story? My wife served me with a restraining order yesterday. I can't go within 500 feet of her, my parents' house, or her workplace. The reason listed is harassment and intimidation. Apparently my phone calls and showing up at my parents' house counts as stalking now. The papers were delivered at my job in front of everyone. Security had to escort me out while my coworkers watched. My boss called an hour later and said I'm being placed on indefinite leave while they assess the situation. I'm pretty sure that's corporate speak for fired. I called the lawyer my buddy recommended, but he won't take my case. He said restraining orders based on domestic situations are tricky and he doesn't want to get involved. 2 other lawyers said the same thing. Nobody wants to represent the cheating husband who's harassing his ex-wife. The cousin's boyfriend reached out to me on social media. Turns out she's been cheating on him too, with multiple guys. He found messages on her phone going back months, including stuff from before she ever started texting me. He said she has a pattern of targeting married men and then playing victim when things fall apart. She told me you were obsessed with her and wouldn't leave her alone, he wrote. But looking at these texts, she was definitely the one pursuing you first. Thought you should know. He sent me screenshots that completely contradict everything she's been telling people. Messages where she's complaining about being bored and wanting excitement. One where she literally says married guys are more grateful and they try harder because they have more to lose. I screenshot everything and tried to send it to my wife, but she has me blocked everywhere. I asked my buddy to forward the messages to her, but he said I need to let it go and focus on moving forward. Even he thinks I'm becoming obsessive. My landlord called this morning. Someone reported that I'm dangerous and might be unstable. He's nervous about having me in the building and wants me to find somewhere else to live by the end of the month. I'm pretty sure my wife's family is behind this, but I can't prove anything. I drove past my parents' house yesterday just to see if my truck was still in the driveway. It wasn't. My wife must have moved it somewhere else. That truck has been in my family for 3 generations and now I can't even find it. I sat in my car down the street for maybe 10 minutes before a neighbor came out and said they'd already called the police about me lurking around. 20 minutes later 2 cops showed up at my apartment. They said someone reported me for violating the restraining order, but since I never got out of my car or approached the house, they couldn't arrest me. They did warn me that any future proximity to the restricted areas would result in jail time. Look man, one of the cops said. Whatever happened between you two, this isn't the way to fix it. You need to stay away and let the courts handle things. The divorce mediation is next week, but my wife's lawyer already sent a proposal. She wants the house, both cars, half my retirement account, and spousal support for 3 years. In exchange, I get my clothes and my grandfather's watch. That's it. Her lawyer says I'm lucky she's not asking for more considering my pattern of harassment and mental instability. I found out why everyone turned on me so fast. My wife's mom has been telling people I threatened her at the barbecue. She claims I said if she didn't help me fix my marriage, I'd make sure everyone knew what kind of mother she really was. Complete fabrication, but people believe her because why would a grieving mother lie about something like that? She's also been posting on social media about how some people try to blame others for their own moral failures. How she's praying for healing for our whole family, but especially for her daughter who was betrayed by someone she trusted completely. The comments are brutal. People calling me a narcissist and saying I'm trying to gaslight everyone about what really happened. Someone posted a screenshot from my original Reddit post and said it proves I'm unhinged and looking for strangers online to validate my victim mentality. My brother finally called me back after ignoring my messages for weeks. He said mom and dad asked him to check on my mental state because they're worried I might do something desperate. He offered to pay for therapy but said I need to accept that I destroyed my own life and stop trying to drag everyone else down with me. You cheated on your wife with her cousin, he said. Everything that's happening now is because of that choice. Not because of mom-in-law, not because of manipulation, because you stuck your dick where it didn't belong. I tried explaining about the messages from the cousin's boyfriend but he cut me off. Even if she pursued you first, you were married. You said yes. You kept saying yes for 2 months. That's on you. The worst part is I'm starting to think everyone's right. Maybe I am just making excuses and looking for someone else to blame. Maybe the cousin's mom did exactly what she said she did and I twisted it into permission to cheat. Maybe I wanted to cheat anyway and just needed someone to give me a reason. I keep reading those screenshots from her boyfriend and wondering if it even matters anymore. Would it change anything if people knew she targeted me? Would my wife take me back? Would my parents forgive me? Or would everyone just say I should have been strong enough to resist regardless? Now I'm facing bankruptcy, homelessness, and complete social isolation because I couldn't keep it in my pants for 2 months. And the person I threw everything away for is probably already moving on to her next married target while I'm banned from going within 500 feet of my own family. The divorce mediation was a complete disaster. My wife brought her entire family as emotional support and they all sat in the waiting room staring at me like I was a convicted felon. Her lawyer had a stack of evidence about 3 inches thick, including printed screenshots of every text message I ever sent to the cousin. But here's the thing that really broke me. My wife's mom brought a recording. She secretly recorded our conversation at that barbecue where she told me I deserved better. Except in her version, I'm the one complaining about my marriage and asking her what I should do about feeling unfulfilled. You can clearly hear him asking me if I should explore other options, she told the mediator. I told him he should talk to his wife about his concerns, not look elsewhere. I sat there listening to this recording where my voice is saying things I never said. It's definitely my voice but the words are all wrong. Either I'm losing my mind or she edited it somehow. But who's going to believe the cheating husband over the grieving mother-in-law? My wife wouldn't even look at me during the whole session. She just sat there taking notes while her lawyer demanded everything. The house, both cars, my retirement account, alimony for 5 years, and attorney fees. In exchange, I get my clothes and whatever personal items she decides aren't marital property. My client has suffered significant emotional distress, her lawyer said. She's had to seek therapy and medication due to the trauma of discovering her husband's affair with her own family member. The mediator asked if I wanted to make a counteroffer. What was I supposed to say? I cheated with her cousin for 2 months. Every piece of evidence points to me being a manipulative liar who's trying to blame everyone else for my choices. After the session, I waited in the parking garage hoping to talk to my wife alone. She came out with her dad, who I've always gotten along with great. He used to call me son and we'd watch football together every Sunday. Please, I said to him. You know me. You know I'm not the kind of person who would manipulate anyone or threaten anyone. He looked at me with complete disgust. I thought I knew you. But good men don't betray their wives with family members. Good men don't harass women who are trying to heal. I never harassed anyone. I just wanted to explain. Explain what? How you convinced our daughter that our granddaughter was suggesting you cheat? How you're now stalking our family and violating court orders? My wife finally spoke up. Dad, we should go. He's just going to keep making excuses. That's when I realized she genuinely believes I made everything up. The conversation with her mom, the cousin pursuing me first, all of it. In her mind, I'm a predator who seduced her cousin and then tried to blame her family when I got caught. I tried calling my parents that night but my mom said they can't talk to me while my wife is staying there. She's been having nightmares and panic attacks, my mom said. Every time your name comes up, she starts crying. We can't put her through any more trauma right now. What about my trauma? What about the fact that I'm losing everything based on lies? Honey, you cheated on your wife with her teenager cousin. Nobody forced you to do that. I had to correct her. The cousin is 24, not a teenager. But my mom had already hung up. I've been sleeping in my car for the past 3 days because I can't afford the apartment deposit anywhere else. My credit is ruined because I miss payments while trying to pay for lawyers who won't represent me. I shower at the gym and eat dollar menu items when I can afford them. Yesterday I saw my wife at the grocery store with my mom. They were laughing about something while picking out vegetables together. My wife looked healthy and relaxed, like she's already moved on completely. When she saw me in the checkout line, she immediately called someone on her phone. 10 minutes later, 2 cops showed up and asked me to leave the store. They said someone reported I was following and intimidating my ex-wife. I wasn't even in the same aisle as her, but apparently being in the same building counts as harassment now. The cousin's ex-boyfriend has been messaging me more screenshots. Turns out she's done this exact same thing to at least 3 other married men in the past 2 years. She targets guys who seem unhappy or vulnerable, gets them to cheat, then plays victim when their marriages fall apart. She collects broken marriages like trophies, he wrote. She showed me pictures of wedding rings that guys gave her as proof they chose her over their wives. She probably still has yours. I never gave her my wedding ring. I took it off the day my wife kicked me out and I've been carrying it in my pocket ever since. But the thought of her bragging about destroying my marriage to other people makes me want to throw up. The worst part is I found out my wife is already seeing someone. My neighbor texted me a picture of a strange car in my driveway overnight last weekend. Some guy I've never seen before is apparently spending the night in my bed in my house while I'm sleeping in a parking lot behind a dumpster. I want to show everyone the evidence about the cousin's pattern of behavior. I want to play that recording my wife's mom made and prove it's been edited. I want to tell my side of the story to someone who will actually listen. But every single person in my life has already decided I'm the villain. And maybe they're right. Maybe I am just making excuses and looking for people to blame because I can't handle being responsible for destroying my own life. The divorce hearing is next month and I'm going to lose everything. But something tells me that's not going to be the end of this story. The divorce was finalized 3 weeks ago. I signed away everything. The house, both cars, half my retirement, and 3 years of alimony payments I can't afford. My lawyer said fighting it would cost more than I'd ever recover and the restraining order made me look like a dangerous stalker. I'm living in a weekly motel room now, working overnight shifts at a warehouse because it's the only job I could get with my reputation destroyed. The work is mindless and keeps me busy, which is probably good because I have way too much time to think otherwise. My wife kept my truck. I saw her driving it past the motel last week with some guy in the passenger seat. Same guy who's been staying overnight at my old house. They looked happy together, laughing about something. It hit me that she's probably already more serious with him than she ever was with me during our whole marriage. The cousin's ex-boyfriend kept sending me evidence about her pattern of targeting married men, but it doesn't matter anymore. I tried showing the screenshots to my lawyer and he said, even if she pursued you first, you still made the choice to cheat. Focus on moving forward, not relitigating the past. He's right. I keep looking for someone else to blame because accepting that I destroyed my own life for 2 months of meaningless sex is too painful. But that's exactly what happened. My parents invited me to dinner last week. First time I'd been in their house since my wife moved out. She wasn't there, obviously, but her stuff was still in the guest room. My mom made my favorite meal and we sat around the kitchen table like old times. We're worried about you, my dad said. You look like hell and you're living in that awful place. I told them about the job and that I'm trying to get back on my feet. My mom started crying and said she never thought she'd see me lose everything like this. I raised you better, she said. We taught you about commitment and loyalty and treating people right. I know, Mom. I screwed up worse than I ever thought possible. Your wife is a good woman, my dad said. She didn't deserve what you did to her. I know. Then why? My mom asked. Why would you throw away your marriage for someone who didn't even care about you? I tried explaining about feeling unappreciated and how the cousin made me feel wanted and special. How her mom planted seeds in my head about deserving better. But halfway through, I realized how pathetic I sounded. I was selfish, I said finally. I wanted to feel important and desired, and I didn't care who got hurt in the process. My parents looked relieved that I was finally taking responsibility instead of making excuses. We talked for another hour about how I could start rebuilding my life. They offered to help with a security deposit on a real apartment, but I declined. I need to figure this out myself. I ran into my wife's dad at the hardware store yesterday. He was buying gardening supplies and I was picking up some basic tools for work. We made eye contact across the aisle and I thought about walking away, but decided to face it. How is she doing? I asked. Better every day, he said. She's in therapy and started dating someone new. A good man who treats her with respect. I'm glad. She deserves that. Yes, she does. We stood there for a minute in awkward silence. Then he said something that really stuck with me. You know what the hardest part was for all of us? It wasn't the cheating, though that was bad enough. It was watching you try to drag everyone else down instead of owning what you did. I wasn't trying to drag anyone down. I just wanted people to understand. Understand what? That you cheated because your wife's mom made a comment about your marriage? That her cousin seduced you? You're a grown man who made grown man choices. He paid for his stuff and left. I stood there holding a screwdriver thinking about what he said. The cousin got engaged last weekend. I saw it on social media before I deleted all my accounts. Big diamond ring and a beach proposal with the guy she started dating after her last boyfriend dumped her. She looks completely happy, like none of this ever happened. I wonder if she thinks about the marriages she's helped destroy. I wonder if she feels any guilt about the lives she's ruined while collecting her trophies. Or maybe she's just moved on completely, the way people do when they never cared in the first place. My wife changed her last name back and started a new job across town. I heard through mutual friends that she's doing well, that she seems lighter and happier than she has in years. That should make me feel worse, but honestly it makes me feel relieved. She deserves to be happy, and she clearly couldn't be happy with me. I've been going to therapy twice a week using the employee assistance program at work. My therapist keeps asking me what I learned from all this, what I would do differently. The answer is simple: I would remember that marriage means something. That promises matter. That momentary pleasure isn't worth destroying the people you claim to love. I lost my wife, my home, my truck, my family's respect, and my reputation for someone who never cared about me at all. I threw away 7 years with a woman who loved me and trusted me completely. And for what? So I could feel desired by someone who was playing games I didn't even know existed. The worst part isn't the divorce or the money or even living in this crappy motel room. The worst part is knowing that I had something real and beautiful and I destroyed it with my own hands. My wife was loyal, hardworking, and building a future with me while I was busy feeling sorry for myself and looking for validation from someone else. I can't fix what I broke. I can't undo the choices I made or take back the pain I caused. All I can do is try to become the kind of person who wouldn't make those choices again. Maybe someday I'll find someone else to love, but I'll never stop regretting the woman I lost because I wasn't strong enough to appreciate what I had while I had it.